What's up, everyone, ladies, gents, and everyone in between? This is Shoe Booty Sports episode 152 coming at you Tuesday night. I'm your host, Graham Powell. On this screen, on the other screen is Bradley Brown. Say what's up, Brad.
What's going on?
What is on your hat, by the way? At
It
first,
is I don't know, it's the collegiate tournament that's going on in Fayetteville this week. It's at the Blessings. It's their logo.
the golf thing.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. Thought it was a rooster or something at first.
I think it's a dove.
Okay, close enough. It's still a bird. Either way.
Yeah.
All right, before we get started, let's give a quick shout out to our sponsor. Shoe Buddy Sports is presented by Rhino Races. Rhino Races is a virtual race series that offers 5 different races: a 5K, 10K, half marathon, a marathon, and the one of a kind Rhino Ultra. You can sign up for one or all 5 of their races at rhinoraces.com. Run your race at your convenience. Track it with your fitness app of choice. Screenshot your results as proof of completion. Submit that screenshot to rhinoraces.com under the Submit Results section. Once your results are verified by Rhino Races staff, your award will be shipped to you by mail. Also, check out their gear section for t-shirts, wristbands, decals, and more. That's rhinoraces.com. Rhino Races is the premier virtual running series, and you can find us, Shoe Booty Sports, on Spotify and Apple Podcast. Subscribe to the YouTube channel, y'all. Give us a like while you're there. Follow us on X at Shoe Booty Sports. Direct your hate tweets there as well. Or to I don't remember your X handle, so I should
I
have
don't either.
I should yeah, I should have studied that before trying to plug that to direct them at you. You can direct them at me. It's whatever. Okay. I guess we can talk about the Arkansas Texas A&M game and get that over with. I am wearing my Arkansas Travelers hat. One is my favorite hat. Two, the Arkansas Travelers are the 2024 Texas League champions. That's the AA affiliate in Little Rock, Arkansas. First league championship since 2008. So shout out, congratulations to the Arkansas Travelers there. Did you see anything about how the game ended?
I did not. No, I just seen notifications on X that they had forced a game 3 and then eventually won it. So I did not see how it ended.
It is best of three in the AA ranks of the playoffs. And yeah, they were down 1-0. They lost the first game, forced game two, or forced a game three by winning game two. And they were up 3-0. And then I believe at one point, and it was tied 4-4, bottom of the ninth. And Travelers won it on a walk-off single up the middle, play at the plate. Runner slid in, beat the throw home. Travelers won it that way in the bottom of the ninth. So
Dang.
yeah, very dramatic ending. And I was home, not at the game. I would have loved to have been at the game. I had a lot going against me, though. Little strapped for money this time of the month or that time of the month, or just in general right now. But two had a pretty. I was still kind of dealing with the illness. I don't know if it was food poisoning or that new 24-hour bug going around. Either way, I was not in condition to go out in public to a game. So it's what it is. I was keeping up with it. Either way, congratulations to the Arkansas Travelers, AA affiliate of the Seattle Mariners, based in Little Rock, Arkansas. All right, so we started things on a positive note. Now let's ruin the show completely and talk about the Southwest Classic, the Arkansas and Texas A&M game. Texas A&M won it, what, 21-17? Is that right?
Yep.
Okay.
One,
And now A&M, I believe, has won 12 of the last 13. Did I see that stat correctly?
12 of 13, not in a row, but I think we won what?
No, no, I said 12 of the last 13.
Okay.
Yeah. But they've won like three in a row, haven't they? Three or four.
Oh, at least.
Either way, you get a lot in a row when you've won 12 of the last 13. Either way, it's been bad. That's Texas
Yeah,
A&M's trophy.
yeah,
Um,
They won it in their normal fashion. Let us think we were about to win, and then beat us.
When did you think we were about to win?
Oh, never.
I was like,
Uh,
when did that happen? I never
no.
felt that the
They
whole
they
game.
give us we get hope, and then we get crushed in the fourth quarter. If it's not a blowout, it's a soul crushing final couple of minute defeat.
The only hope I felt was at the beginning of the game when Taylor Green threw just a
Yeah.
um, beautiful deep ball on that. What I haven't played Madden or NCAA in forever. What's this route? What do you call that? That Tesla ran?
I don't know.
Either one of us have in a while, apparently. Uh,
Yeah.
and it's been a while since I played tight end, and even then, I didn't run those kind of routes. Mine were just flags and post and goes and outs. So that
Yeah.
was the extent of the route running I did back in the day. But
Yeah.
either way, go ahead.
I was gonna say I got a little excited too on that first touchdown because I was like, "Hey, we're going to get an accurate quarterback today," and yeah, I shouldn't even thought that.
You did for that play, and that was it. That was it. After that, it was all downhill from there. Yeah, we'll talk about Taylor Green in a bit and what we think of him. But I mean, had you told me, I would have been disappointed, like in the score, that we just couldn't score any points. But I
Yeah.
mean, if you just look at the score and didn't watch the game, unfortunately, we did. 21-17. That's not that much to get your head hung about, right?
No,
But if you
I
saw the
mean,
game, then
yeah,
you're disappointed. Like
it's
I
a
said,
pretty ugly football for a while in that game.
it's been ugly. It's just been ugly football the last 2 weeks for the Razorbacks. Well,
3 weeks,
I don't
three
know.
and
I
a
mean,
half weeks.
UAB wasn't that bad to me. We just couldn't really stop it. I thought we could do things offensively. It was really just it was Oklahoma State, basically anybody that's considered a worthy opponent, I guess.
Decent. Yeah.
It hasn't looked good, and the last 2 weeks have been. It's like you said, it's been ugly. Taylor Green was slightly better than Auburn's quarterback, or he was better than Auburn's quarterback, at least as far as being able to make plays. The things he can do with his legs are what makes him
Yeah.
at all dangerous as a quarterback. But yeah, A&M kind of had the same guy, but he could read defenses better, and he was I don't know he was a better playmaker, and this was their backup quarterback. This was A&M's backup quarterback that we got, and that still happened, and it was disappointing, but from watching Arkansas, but I wasn't surprised. I've gotten to a point. Well, by the way, I turned 40 years old Friday, so in a few days I'm going to be 40 years old, big 40. But in my is that is that middle age? What do we consider middle age? Probably
Probably
that.
40. Yeah.
Yeah, probably that. Uh, yeah, in my middle age, I've gotten to a point where I am completely unfazed, really, by Arkansas football, especially. Uh,
Yeah.
like basketball and baseball, I still get excited about it, just because you expect good things. I expect Arkansas football to be a disaster, and that something will go wrong. I'm just conditioned to it, and if you expect anything different at this point, then you're insane. I mean, the definition of insane is doing same thing over and over and over again, and expecting a different result. I mean, this is Arkansas football. This is what they are. Like this is what they are. If you're surprised by that, then you're just not paying attention, or you're just, like I said, insane or dumb. I don't even think dumb. I think just nuts. I think you're just a crazy person. Uh, any bright spots from that? I would say the defense. Landon Jackson had a game. He had a good game.
Yeah, we actually, actually got some pressure on the quarterback. He had a sack and a half or whatever it was. He made him run around a little bit,
He
but
moved the
that
ball a
was
little
yeah, that was about the only bright spot was the defense.
bit. Yeah, Andrew Armstrong is a player at receiver. I was glad he was okay after leaving the
Yeah,
game for a little bit at a certain point. Uh, the offensive line just got bullied. They got bullied all game, thrown around by the Texas A&M defensive front. They couldn't protect Taylon Green, but I'm not going to put that all on the offensive line. Taylon Green cannot read a defense. He just can't. He cannot read a defense to save his life. I think that's always been his issue, even back
yeah.
in Boise State. I mean, you look at his numbers. I never watched him at Boise State, but look at his numbers. They're the same. He had 11 touchdowns, 10 picks a year ago. They're all kind of like this. It's like an even number of touchdowns, picks. This year, 5 touchdowns, 5 interceptions. This is Taylor Green. This is what he is. So we can't really throw a fit, and he's our best option probably. He is probably the best option right now. Maybe that Malachi Singleton can turn into something eventually. He's a true freshman. I mean, Taylor Green is your best. He is your best option right now to win games.
Yeah.
And the thing is, Arkansas, as is, can still maybe get to 6 wins. It's going to be hard. I wouldn't bet on it, but
It'll
they
be
could.
tough.
Yeah, but even as ugly as it was against A&M, they got the win. Or excuse me, it was close. You know,
Yeah.
Auburn game ugly, but they got the win. Arkansas, that is. Arkansas could maybe do that with an LSU, with an Ole Miss even. We found out. See, here's the thing. All right, let's touch up on that real quick. Did Ole Miss have a bad day, or were they just unprepared for SEC play, considering they played FCS and high school teams the first month of the season? Or is Kentucky better than we maybe gave them credit for, or is it both?
It's I'd say it's both. I mean, they haven't really played anyone all season yet. Kentucky has proven themselves to be pretty decent aside from that one lopsided loss to South Carolina. I mean, they stuck with Georgia. I mean, they held their own against Georgia. Um,
It was a game against
yeah.
Georgia.
So I think Kentucky's better than we think. I think they had an off week whenever they played South Carolina. It was what, week 2. They were the first conference game in the SEC. But yeah, uh, Ole Miss hadn't really played anyone, and yeah, they haven't had to deal with getting popped in the mouth, and they didn't seem to like it this past weekend.
And South Carolina under Shane Beamer is just a weird team. Like
Yeah,
they'll win games that they're not supposed to even be competitive in, but they'll lose, some games that they would come off a game like that and you're like, oh, this team's, legit. And then they'll turn around and lose a game. It's kind of Houston nut-ish.
yeah, so it sounds real familiar.
Yeah, we've dealt with that. We've seen that story before. But you're going to get games like that from South Carolina. What Kentucky is better than their record indicates, I think is the best way to say it. They're a better team than their record suggests that they are. Because they're what, the same record as Arkansas, 3-2?
Yep,
And they're a way better team than Arkansas is.
I would say so.
I mean, so still early, but yeah, that's a really good football team at 3-2, Kentucky, that is. Um, I think that's what it is. Ole Miss hadn't played anyone for the first month of the season, and then they finally get a good opponent in SEC play, and that's what happens. Like you weren't prepared. That's simply what it is. You weren't prepared. I will say this about Arkansas: they could easily be 4-1 had they played a cupcake instead of Oklahoma State. Arkansas could be 4-1, but then
They
again,
should be 4-1. So
say what?
they should be 4-1.
Yeah, or,
But
or you could say that if they didn't, I mean, you could argue if they didn't play an Oklahoma State and played I don't know, Louisiana Tech,
South
and they,
Mississippi or something.
yeah, just one of those teams. Maybe they weren't prepared for Auburn, and they come on the losing end of that. I mean, you can make that type of argument, but um, I will give Arkansas credit there. They played a worthy opponent and should have beaten them. Uh, okay, we got off topic there for a little bit. What were we talking about? I swung around to that and then just went down a rabbit hole that I couldn't find my way out of.
We're supposed to be talking about the Razorbacks A&M game, but I think we pretty much reviewed that one pretty good.
I
At
think
what point did
I
at
think
what
I
point did you know
go ahead.
Arkansas was going to lose?
Second half. A&M took the lead. I knew it was over because we couldn't do anything. We couldn't move the ball offensively. Um, it was then. Yeah, I was like, we can't score.
My thought was before that Arkansas was in the lead whenever I thought we're losing this game because they forced the fumble inside the 10-yard line. We coughed it up, and I'm like, "Yep, we're losing. It's happening."
And the penalties galore, just the same type of stuff we've seen under Sam Pittman. Yeah, just way like they have more penalties than a 3A high school football team.
Yeah,
It's ugly, ugly football. Just no
and
discipline. It's just bad. I got nothing.
still can't get over Green running perfectly into that defensive end, running right at him to end the game. When he's scrambling out and just ran directly into him. It's like, wow.
Yeah, he kind of Taylor Green. It was kind of running for his life the entire game. But like I said, a lot of that's on. He makes bad reads handing the ball off when he should keep it. He keeps it when he should hand it off.
When that end crashes down, man, it's like he's trying to do Cal 3 in his head, and it just doesn't calculate, dude.
And I mean, he makes throws. He doesn't see people in the secondary. He doesn't see safeties. He doesn't see linebackers. Just throwing the ball in the middle of the field. It's
Maybe
he
he needs
just
some glasses. I don't know.
and Sam Pittman just came out and said it. I mean, we've got a quarterback that isn't confident, and that's clear. I mean, he knows it. He's like, I can't do. It's like he knows he can't do this at least at an elite level. You know what I mean? But it's frustrating. But he is the best option Arkansas has, and if you pull him now, then his confidence is completely gone.
Yeah.
Then it's completely lost. If you're Bobby Petrino, you just got to work your magic, and you got to just put this kid. I say kid, he's a senior, but I mean, you got to do everything you can to just put him in the best possible situation that you can in order for him to be successful.
Yeah.
Like know what you have in your offensive line, or at least what that offensive line is going up against week in, week out, and then just make your game plan accordingly. You've got to try to establish the run, get him going with his legs. Taylor Green, I mean, he is durable.
Yeah.
We've seen that. He's a durable guy, even at 6'6" and lanky. Um, he can take a hit and is pretty good at avoiding big hits. I guess is really the big thing. That's what will open up things in the passing game. I mean, that's easier said than done, but if you're Bobby Petrino, you just got to figure out a way. I mean, you've really got to earn your money here. It's yeah. Who do they have this week? I don't even
What? You don't know who they have this week?
Arkansas.
Tennessee.
Oh yeah, Tennessee. See that I did know, and then I just pushed it out of my brain. I've had
Yeah.
a lot going on the last couple days, especially today. Today was a terrible day, work related, and leading up before that. I'm not going to give a where I'm not going to touch up on the other thing. I'm not going to show them that kind of love, but yeah, Tennessee. Is it in Fayetteville?
In Fayetteville.
Okay, I got that going for them at least. So
So
what time of
hopefully
day?
some of our ugly football rubs off on them and they play some ugly football.
Yeah, I'm not counting on it. What time of day is it?
It's prime time. It's actually going to be at 6:30. It's actually going to be a night game.
Okay. Can't remember what I have going on Saturday. I don't know if I might not even see the game.
Yeah.
We'll see.
I
My no,
mean, you can tune in. I mean, probably might be tuning out by the second quarter, but
probably. So let's do a score prediction and then we'll move on from this disaster of what is Arkansas football. I say that and they're
okay.
3-2, and I thought they'd be 2-3. So it's not a complete disaster, but it might be after Saturday. What's your score prediction for Saturday? Arkansas, Tennessee.
45-28, Tennessee.
You got it that close? I would be very happy with that. 45-28. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go 52. I don't know why 52. I just feel like 52. I'm gonna go 52. I'll go. I'll give them 20. I'll go 52-20.
20. I was like, surely the lowest he's going to go is 21. No, you hit him with the 20.
Yeah,
Like
no,
we're going to make that many field goals.
we're gonna get 2 field goals.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we're not going to make 2 field goals, man.
we're gonna get something. Well, we might early,
The
and then
guy's only good for 1 field goal.
we'll give a touchdown late. That's what I say. I go. I'm saying 52-20 Tennessee. I think that's a realistic score prediction. Vols are legitimate. That quarterback, I can't say his name, but he's legitimate. And Arkansas can't read a defense. Athletic, but inaccurate, and just he doesn't have the. I mean, he just doesn't have that football IQ of where he can read a defense. He just doesn't have that as a quarterback. So
Yeah, I have a feeling our secondary is going to be pretty burnt this weekend.
yeah, it's gonna be interesting for a little bit at least. Just to see how badly they do get torched. All right, let's move on to. Did you see the primetime game this past Saturday night? It was the game of the year to date. It's going to be hard to top that one. Alabama, Georgia. Alabama's the new number one in the AP poll
As
after.
they should be.
Yeah, I watched the entire first half. Really,
Yeah.
I lost interest. I mean, that's how dominant it
I did,
was.
I did too.
Yeah, they Alabama up 28-0, 30-7 at the break. I was in Lono actually, really all day. They had the pumpkin run in Lono that morning. So I went early and I dropped my dog off at my grandma's. I had like a change of clothes and all that stuff and brought stuff to shower. So I did the race that morning and went and got breakfast and coffee and then went back and showered and just watched football all day, including the Arkansas game and then the first 2.5 quarters of Alabama, Georgia. And I left for a couple of reasons. One, it was late and I was ready to go home and I had to get up early and go to Hot Springs the next day. And two, I thought it was over. I mean, it stopped being interesting. And I was like, all right, I'm gonna load my dog up and go home. So I get home and it's the fourth quarter. I turned the game on. I don't listen to it or anything on the radio. I turned the game on just to have something on the TV, I guess, or just to see if it had gotten any closer. And it was like a 5 point game at that point. And then Georgia
Yeah.
took the lead, and then Alabama took the lead, and then it was what it was. How it ended. The big, a couple of big takeaways. I mean, how the freshman that Alabama has right
Unreal. Unreal.
Ryan Williams, the 17-year-old wideout who,
Should still be in high school.
yeah, I was a junior in high school when I was 17. I turned 18 like the midway point of our senior season in football.
Yeah.
Uh, and this kid is 17. And like on the seeing him like make the catch and do the spin and then run for a touchdown after, that's stuff
Dude,
you see on like NCAA, like
yeah.
football, right? I mean,
What's
it's
six? What? Yeah. What 16, 17-year-olds out there tackling that guy or covering that guy?
yeah, that's just not fair. Um, I looked up his stats, I looked up who he was. I couldn't remember his name because we were talking about him. I was with my dad and grandpa when we were going to Hot Springs, and my grandpa asked like what his name was. And I was like, I don't remember. I just know he was number 2 and he was 17. So I looked it up, and he had something like 4,600 all-purpose yards and like 60 something touchdowns. I think his last like 2 years of high school.
That's all right.
Yeah, but from what we saw against Georgia's players, yeah, going up against that guy in high school, there's no way. There's no way. Because you and I, because we've gone up against when we played, we went up against guys that were like D1, uh, and it was always like underwhelming. They were like they had the body, but they really weren't that good of football players, at least
Mm,
compared to like what you expected from them. The only time I really looked at someone and said, "Okay, that person's amazing," I was a reporter and I was covering a state championship game, and it was Kenneth Dixon from Strong, Arkansas. That was the first guy that I was just like, "Okay, that guy's different." And Madre Hill, I say that Madre Hill was in the mid '90s was a different animal too. Another state championship game I went and watched, but just as a spectator. But yeah, imagining Ryan Williams in high school going up against guys is yeah, that would be incredible to see. It was incredible to see Saturday against Georgia. Kid's 17 years old. I really hope he stays healthy. Um, I mean, you say there's no reason he shouldn't, but I mean, it's football, so you never know. I really want to see what this guy turns into. I wish
yeah.
nothing but good things for him. Heck of a game. Jalen Milroe, I didn't realize he was that fast. I knew he was fast, but I didn't realize he was that fast. Beating guys to the sideline just on quarterback keeps, like obvious quarterback keeps. I mean, dude is lights out fast. Um, I mean, he's making throws. He's making the throws. Milroe's the Heisman front runner right now, right? I mean, granted, we're only 5 games in. Right now, Milroe's got to be the guy, right?
I mean, he's up there. He's up there.
The only person I could think would be like Travis Hunter.
Yeah. He had him
Just
pretty good weekend.
yeah, like, he's had a pretty good 5 games.
Yeah.
Shout out to Colorado, by the way. 4-1. Shador is a player. I mean, I looked at his stats today. You look at his whole collegiate career. I mean, it's impressive numbers. He hasn't thrown more than like 6 picks in a season, and it's always like 27 or 30 touchdowns. Right now, he's got 14 touchdowns, just 3 picks, and the Buffs are 4-1. Uh, did you see his little snub of Cam Newton?
No. Oh yeah, on the sideline. Yeah, I did see that.
Well, no, it was before the game during warmups. I think Cam said something to him, and Shador just kind of shrugged him off and just didn't even really acknowledge him.
Yeah.
I think something similar with Travis Hunter was like that with Cam Newton. Apparently, Cam Newton went on his podcast at some point and even said, I'm going off script a little bit, but he said if Eli Manning gets a gold jacket before he does, then Cam should get 2 of them, gold jackets. That was pretty much my reaction, the face that you
Yeah.
made.
Yeah. Makes zero sense.
Yeah, yeah. Eli's a 2-time Super Bowl MVP and Super Bowl champion, and we saw how Cam played in the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
I was scared to
Cam
get on.
had a Cam had a great regular season one year.
Yeah, Cam Newton is not a Pro Football Hall of Famer. He's not.
No.
All right. Okay, so uh Does that loss mean anything for Georgia? If it were a blowout, I would say yes, but it
Yeah,
ended up being close. With this 12-team playoff, that was pretty much a kind of a meaningless loss.
yeah, they went out there. They're still good. Um, what if they meet Bama again in the championship, conference championship? If they lose to Bama twice, are they still in? If it's
Uh,
both close,
If it's close again, I
yeah,
mean,
yeah.
probably.
If they wouldn't have came back in that game, I would have say they blew it. They would have had an uphill battle.
Yeah, but I mean, how long ago was it? I mean, it's been years ago now. Probably like 15 now. I think about it. But LSU was a national champion with two losses, with Les
Yeah,
Miles. So a two loss Georgia team can, or heck, a three-loss Georgia team, if they lose to Tennessee or something, they can still get in the 12-team playoff if those games are close. Sure,
yes.
there's no guessing. I mean, it's going to turn into that.
3 losses.
Probably 12 teams. I mean, only like four of
Oh
them are
no,
teams. Then it's just who do you think is the best from there?
somebody with not 3 losses. I mean,
This kind, we're going to see how it plays out. I mean, we're going to find out. We're going to find out this year. So I'm looking forward to it, though. I'm excited about it.
yeah.
All right, so let's touch up on a little bit of pro football. Okay, Monday Night Football game. The Titans and whoever the heck it was. Who was it? Titans and I played the other guy. And either way, that was a stinker of a game.
Dolphins.
Okay, there you go. See, no Tua. It's
Yeah,
Tyler
you got
Huntley, quarterback. There was zero star power in that game. Who was even the quarterback for Tennessee? I don't even remember. Was it Mason Rudolph?
Levis. No, it was Levis.
No, it wasn't.
Last night
Yeah, it
for the
wasn't.
Titans.
Yeah,
Yeah, it was.
I don't think so. You might want to fact check that.
Nah.
Okay, it's not that important. Titans got the win. The better game was Lions and Seahawks, and man, it did not disappoint. What'd you think of the Lions unis, by the way, and helmets?
I thought they were pretty clean, pretty sick looking, man. I love the black helmets.
The
The black and blue, dude.
that black and blue helmet was fire.
Yeah.
I mean, that was so sick. I loved it. I'm not saying keep them or I'm not saying make them permanent, but dude, break those out every now and then.
Yeah.
Like how Arkansas would rock like the chrome helmet on special occasions, like the chrome that chrome red, and or that I'm saying that wrong. Um, Whatever the Christmas ornament looking
Yeah.
red and that chrome Razorback. Like that was dope. Like break that out on special occasions if you're the Lions. Love that.
Say break it out every Halloween weekend. All black.
Yeah. Or
At a minimum.
yeah. Um I would be down for that. I'm a big fan of it. Okay.
But
So
you're wrong. That game did disappoint.
it did this.
Metcalf, yeah, it disappointed me. I lost by 1 point in fantasy. Metcalf needed one more catch or 10 more yards. Or, could have got that 2 point conversion that was pass interference. But yeah, it didn't happen. Lost by one. I'm no longer undefeated.
Well, I am
It's bad.
somehow 3-1. And this is how it happened. I was down 4 points, and I've had all these injuries at wide receiver, and so I had to plug Jamison Williams in as a starter. And in that one touchdown play, which was like an 80-yard play or close to it, I went from down 4 to up 10, just like that.
Nice.
And I ended
Well,
up getting the win.
I shouldn't have won anyways because I started Brees Hall and Garrett Wilson, and they had a total of 7 or 8 points between them. It was terrible.
Yeah, it was bad. Broncos beat the Jets 10-9. So yeah, ugly showing from the Broncos too. But it was and Bo Nix, his stat line was terrible, but it was enough to get the win over the Jets. Speaking of injuries at wide receiver and fantasy football, I had Rashee Rice starting. That's another one. Uh, I had him starting. Patrick Mahomes is my quarterback, and my quarterback took out my wide receiver, took out his top wide receiver, one of my top wide receivers, on a pick. And nobody's talking about that really. Some people are, but nobody's really talking about that enough, I feel like. I'm not saying just like let's throw a bunch of shade at the best player in the game, but I haven't heard really anybody talk about it that much. I mean, Patrick Mahomes throws an interception, Rashee Rice is trying to knock the ball loose, and Patrick Mahomes just lays a shoulder pad right into his knee and probably tore his ACL. I'm not saying we should harp on it, but nobody's really covering it. I feel like, you know what I mean?
Sure.
Am I out of line for pointing it out?
No, no. So you made a valid point.
It just seems a little weird to me that people aren't really talking about it. But Twitter X is a little bit. I follow Patrick Mahomes. He put out a like "Let's go" with exclamation points. I'm like, oh, is Rashee Rice getting? Did he get good like test results? And I don't know what he was referencing. But then people were like, why'd you hurt your own like receiver? People naturally just being social media people, trolls. That's the term.
The worst of the worst on X.
Yes, they are. Okay. Well, we can have a quick part two. Probably won't be a full part two, but let's do that. We'll be back in a second with the part two of this episode. So we'll see y'all in a moment.